welcome to a very special episode on The Captivated Christian. Today we're going to be talking about a film that connects to Easter, because it's, Ariel, what movie are we talking about again? Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny. Okay, I don't really see the correlation. Do I recognize anything the director may have made? Okay. If he only did a couple of family films, what other films did he do? Oh no. This is gonna be another replicator situation, isn't it? Thank goodness. Hopefully we won't have a movie that bad. Right? Right? Please say right. So we begin with children playing Santa's elves, singing to themselves, and the audio is all kinds of scuffed because you cannot understand a thing they're saying. The elves realize Santa's gone missing once one of them takes a look outside and sees the reindeer have returned without his sleigh. Yes, that's supposed to be the North Pole. What with the grassy hills in the background. Look, maybe you filmed that shot down in Sweden, because I know a lot of these Hollywood big shot elites love filming in places where they can dodge paying taxes, or at the very least less expensive to film in. But would it game end you to at least film in a place that looks like it has snow on the ground? So something is clearly wrong. Not like it really matters to the elves, they just keep singing. Yeah, we're going to be skipping this. So where exactly is Santa? He's stuck in Florida. We know this because we have a narrator now, out of nowhere. Seems to be a trend with some of the movies I've looked at in the past.
Of all places for Santa to be in his sleigh, stuck in the sand, thousands of miles from the North Pole, way down in Florida.
And now I'm going to drag this out as long as humanly possible. Let's just repeat the same dialogue about 3 or 4 times just so that we could pad out the runtime. Let's just keep this going as long as possible. I wish that this would never end. I'm Dan Rather.
The long beard and the red velvet suit and the white fur, that's a lot of heavy clothing to be worn on a beach in Florida. And Santa was mighty uncomfortable because the sun in Florida was certainly a lot hotter than any sun at the North Pole.
Then why doesn't he take off his hat and coat? Sure, having your vehicle stuck and not being able to get anywhere, yeah, that's a problem. But wanting to beat the heat while wearing a very heavy jacket and a hat seems like a pretty easy fix if you ask me. And then Santa launches into a song number, and by that, I mean he starts rhyming to a barely audible piano track that sounds off-key the whole time. It goes without saying, but all of this feels as slapped together as humanly possible. The dance choreography, the music instrumental, the editing, everything about this just feels wrong.
My reindeers left me sitting here. It was just too hot for them, I fear. My predicament lacks its usual cheer, because Christmas Day will soon be here. Who will help me? Who will set me free? If my friends knew where to find me, they would be here.
Anyway, Santa finally decides to do something, and of course it's something that requires him to not get out of his sleigh. He sends a message out to the local children to come to him and then come up with an idea to help him with his predicament. Before they all head down to see him, there's a good few minutes of these children just doing things children do, like skateboarding, jump rope, playing baseball, jumping off a roof with an umbrella. Whoa, this movie was made for kids, right? I mean, children could be watching this movie and replicate that. I find it insanely reckless for them to put something like that in this movie. We're watching a film marketed to children that has a scene where a little boy is jumping off of a roof with an umbrella. In my Easter special, this is a Christian, family-friendly program that I'm running here, and I will not allow this. Okay, so the children get Santa's telepath message, and they run to him. And then we see...
Hey, Huck, could that be Santa Claus? Hey, it is Santa Claus, Tom. But what do you suppose he's doing here? I don't know, Huck. He looks like he's stuck in the sand. He is stuck. Hey, do you think if we stick around a while, we'll find out what happens? Yeah.
Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn just happen to show up. They don't do anything else in the rest of the movie, mind you. They just show up for that quick cameo and then gone from the movie. I haven't seen appearances from characters this random since that 50s Mexican Santa Claus movie.
Are you hurt, Santa?
Oh, no, I guess just my feelings. But my reindeer, they took off for the North Pole. They tried so hard to get me out of the sand, but they just couldn't do it, and then it simply got too hot for them, so off they went to the North Pole without me.
Oh, good Lord in heaven, we get it! Move on already! How far into this movie are we? 10 minutes? 10 minutes? We're only 10 minutes in? Oh, this movie's gonna be a long one. Okay, so the children decide to run off and get animals who can hopefully pull the sleigh. All the while Santa just sits there and does nothing while everyone does things for him. First off, there's a girl who recruits a gorilla! I'm sorry, but where does a little girl just happen to come across a gorilla? So the gorilla doesn't help, obviously. So the kids then recruit a goat. That doesn't work either, so then they bring this pig that sounds like Satan if he took physical form. The demon pig doesn't work, who could have seen that coming? Then the kids try using a sheep. Oh gee, is it going to work?
No, I guess not. Nothing is going to work. Nothing.
Is the movie repeating itself? Are they just going to do this for the rest of the film? Apparently it is, as a kid then shows up with a cow to try and help push the sleigh.
You know what, Santa Claus? Maybe you could get out of that little predicament of yours if you had a little peg assistance.
Stop!
But Chris, look, in the next scene they bring in a horse.
Well, son, what do you think? Shall we give it a try?
Oh, okay, a horse. An animal that's known for pulling vehicles. Okay, so maybe we're finally getting somewhere, right?
Oh, he just simply won't move. Oh, no. No. Good try, old boy. Nothing is going to work.
What?
What? They knew how to wrangle a horse, but they didn't know how to train it to pull a sleigh or something?
By golly, it is hot. I have never been so hot in my life.
I am afraid to ask this, but how far into the movie are we? 20 minutes? Seriously? How is this movie 96 minutes long?
I've got to try to get out. All those little boys and girls all over the world waiting for their present.
Santa, I hate to tell you this now, but that's about an inch of sand. I don't think your sleigh is submerged. It just needs an animal to pull it. Well, I guess the kids are just out of ideas. Yeah, they did all they could do. Now it's just time to sit around and feel bad, I guess.
And I'll tell you a story that proves that if you have faith, then all your dreams will come true.
Wait, what?
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful little girl named Thumbelina.
Okay, Santa is now telling the children a story. The fable of Thumbelina, to be exact. Long after we get an extended advertisement for some local theme park called Pirate World. Well, I don't know about you, but the people who made this film can go to Jolly Pirate Donuts.
Take tours, shit, for all I care!
It seemed we've entered a completely different movie all of a sudden. Pirate World presents Hans Christian Andersen's Thumbelina. Oh, joy of joys. No, please, take your sweet time. This isn't awkward or anything. I wish nothing in this movie would ever get started.
Do you know what this will cost you?
Oh, no. But anything at all, as long as you fulfill my wish.
It will cost you 12 pennies.
So the woman gets the seeds and plants them like the witch instructed her to. Like she was promised, it blossoms into a human girl who acts on sets with giant props, along with some really bad compositing that makes her look microscopic. Trust me, it's terrifying.
Thumbelina loved the house and loved her mother. Although she spent all her time on the tabletop, the little girl was completely happy.
Hey, living on a countertop isn't all that bad. At least you'll have a Christian tomato and cucumber to keep you company. Song sequence, skip it.
Thumbelina's new life was to be threatened by a frog whose mother was searching for a wife for her son.
Whoa, 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 oh geez, cheese and crackers, that's terrifying.
So a fish felt sorry for her and chewed the roots of the lily pad loose so that it would float downstream, away from her captors.
Characters in this movie are going to be visiting me in my night terrors tonight. Get them off the screen now. Jeez, this was made for kids, right?
But she's so small. I think she is terrible looking and makes me feel creepy.
Oh, really? Well, now you know how the audience feels. It's winter now. Yeah, winter. Obviously fake snow. Deal with it.
Thumbelina tried to protect herself as best she could, but finally decided that she must search for a place to live underground, like the other animals and I had done.
I hate to ask this, I really do, but how far into the movie are we? Oh, you are joking. We're only halfway through? Let's finish the movie already!
My home is not very far from here, and there is a tunnel from Mrs. Mole's backyard. Why don't you come with me, and I will show you some very interesting things.
Why is every creature in this forest lusting after this young, innocent, defenseless, underage girl? Do these animals have connections to Jeffrey Epstein or something? The world may never know.
Oh, the poor creature. What happened to him?
He froze in the winter. He must have gotten caught by the early snowfall on his way south, and then tried to crawl in through that hole to keep warm. Anyway, he's an ugly creature. I hesitate in asking you, but under the circumstances, I think it would be appropriate. Thumbelina, will you marry me and live here with me?
Oh, see? I knew it. I knew asking questions would pay off. I knew it. You're busted. You're so busted. We got him on camera admitting it. Christopher Hansen, Yellow Dino, Corny the Alien, Winnie the Feces.
I didn't know it at the time, but Thumbelina felt trapped about the marriage.
Okay, you know what? The next 30 minutes is pretty much just more of the same, so just skip it. Half an hour later, she finally gets back to that bird. She throws a blanket over it and helps it thaw back to consciousness. Thankful for her kindness, once he's up and about, he flies her out of there and sends her to a land of tiny people just like her who spawn from flowers. And then she marries this man. Yes, it is very weird, but at least it is not marrying an old pedophilic mole. It really is the lesser of two evils here.
She and the prince lived happily ever after, and so have I. Mr. Digger decided he wanted to marry someone, so he married me. Thank you for listening.
I know it's really late to acknowledge this, but it's interesting they have a narrator, completely unrelated to the narrator we had at the beginning of the movie, and to add to that, Santa is supposed to be telling this story. I guess they couldn't find a way to connect these two unrelated stories together, so I guess they figured throwing in as much narration as possible would suffice. Speaking of which, we cut back to Santa and the kids on the beach as they leave to go get help. And like he has been doing throughout this entire film, Santa just sits there complaining about how hot it is. How about getting off your cookie and milk consuming, Coca-Cola promoting behind and do something for once?
Oh, dear. Oh, feel how much better that is.
Oh, good. The movie is almost over and he just now decides to start taking off his extra layers of clothes to try and stop the heat. But then it seems Santa passes out from heat stroke. But never fear, the ice cream bunny is here. It only took him the entire movie to show up. So, what exactly does the ice cream bunny do? Does he deliver ice cream? Does he eat ice cream? Why does he drive a fire truck instead of an ice cream truck? Why did they call him the ice cream bunny instead of simply just making him the Easter bunny? I mean, come on, sheeple, I'm just asking questions. Oh, hallelujah, thank you, it's almost over. So yeah, the last 10 minutes finally has one of the two titular characters show up. It's about time. We waited this long and he finally shows up.
Could it be
The ice cream bunny, of course. Of course. Thank you, children. It's good to see you again.
And so, after an hour and a half, Santa just leaves his sleigh there in the sand as he hitches a ride on the ice cream bunny's fire truck. As the kids gather around the sleigh, it then just disappears through the power of a jump cut. If you could do that this whole time, then why didn't you do that earlier? That was Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. That was horrendous. I mean, really, what could be said about this film? The cinematography is terrible, the acting is beyond atrocious, the story is almost as non-existent as the conflict, the movie just becomes a completely different movie halfway through because the first half of the movie had almost nothing going on in it. And of course, it's absolutely terrifying! No child should have to be subjected to this kind of thing. This should qualify as torture. And believe me, I have nothing against movies with slow pacing. After all, I learned about patience from Abe and the Great Promise, but this movie was just an absolute chore to sit through. Even more so than any other movie I've ever talked about for these videos, this was quite possibly the most boring thing I've ever had the misfortune to watch. And I know, I got a little heated, and I sincerely apologize. After all, if Larry Boy the Animated Series has taught us anything, it's that we need to let go of our anger, a la the first episode, Larry Boy and the Angry Eyebrows. So you know what? I'm just going to enjoy the rest of Easter Sunday. I'm going to celebrate with my family and friends. And until next time, guys, may Jesus be with you.